So here we are, guys. It's the day before Infinity War comes out in the theaters. I'm going tomorrow at 7, then I'm going again at 12:30 to a 3D showing on Friday. But you guys know too, this is the culmination of of 10 years, 17 or 18 movies, I forget which. It's just absolutely amazing what Marvel's done. Where most franchises struggle to even come out with a good sequel or even a trilogy. I mean, think about how little that happens where you come out with a good sequel or a good trilogy. Marvel has managed to, put together a cohesive, 18 or how many ever 19 movie series that's all interconnected, and we've had a build up to Thanos since the fifth movie, Avengers. It's pretty amazing that this is actually happening. So, yeah, for me, I'm recording this the night before because I'll be going at 7 o'clock tomorrow night to the showing then. And then I'll probably record my reaction once I get home, unless you guys know what I thought of the movie. But I can't even tell you how excited I am. Normally, I just because of spoilers, I try to stay off the internet, and usually I fail at it, like I did with The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. I just couldn't stay off social media, and a few things were spoiled there. But this is different. This is on another level to me personally. The Marvel universe is my thing, and personally, when it comes down to it, I personally think the Marvel Universe is the biggest franchise ever. It's bigger than Star Wars. It's bigger than anything else. Money-wise, Star Wars did have a bigger impact on special effects and everything, but what the Marvel Universe has done is a whole other story. I mean, it's so far above, the actual, Star Wars or anybody else. So, anyways, I'm going to stop this video now. I'll make a second part to it when I get back, and I'll give you my initial reaction to that. And then I'll throw up the finished product of this and some other Avengers Infinity War shots I've done. This is actually a throwback to the comic book if you've read it. But actually one of the Infinity War shots that I did too is a throwback to the comic. It's pretty cool. I'll show that at the end of this video too. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to go to it, and I'll be back in a split second and tell you guys what I think. Alright, guys. I got out, Infinity War about an hour ago, and I'm going to go full spoiler with this one. I mean, what's the point, really, for a non-spoiler? But, man, they really stuck the landing on this. I kind of had a feeling the movie was going to end the way it ended. As I said, full spoilers, pretty much everybody died, or half the people die. And I kind of thought, just like in the comic book, he was eventually, as soon as he got the gauntlet, he was going to kill off half the universe, and it happened. They really went all out with this. Oh, man, where do I even start? It was such a good movie. Thanos is such a good villain. The Guardians of the Galaxy, it seems like the Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor and Doctor Strange were really the big characters, good guys that got the most amount of attention. But it was insane to actually have the courage to end it like it did. The problem is, with all the deaths, of course, they can bring all of them back if they want to. Actually, the way Vision dies and the way he's left, the way the color changes on his costume, I kind of have a feeling that Shuri's going to rebuild him, bring him back to life, and he's going to have maybe his white look like he's had in the past, in like the 70s or 80s, whenever that was, when he's all white. Yeah, it was just kind of crazy. Doctor Strange, all the stuff with Doctor Strange was just great to see him interacting with the Avengers and seeing him in something other than his movies. His movie actually didn't turn me on very much. I felt it was just a little plain. It's kind of one of the weakest Marvel movies for me personally. Visually stunning, but and not enough different personality on him compared to the other movies. But enough about that. We're talking about Infinity War here. Yeah, he was really good in it. He just was great in it. And I think he has something up his sleeve when he says this is the only way to Tony Stark. I think he's got something up his sleeve for the next movie. He left an open door or something. That scene, with him and Iron Man, all that stuff with those guys, him and Iron Man and Spidey interacting, that was just great. And yeah, that whole thing there was awesome. And then when they meet up with the Guardians at the end and they fight Thanos, that whole fight scene with Thanos is pretty amazing. But let's see, where else were we? What else is going on? Yeah, the Guardians and Thor were really good. Still not the biggest fan of joking Thor, even though I loved Ragnarok. I'd like to see him a little bit more serious, although he does seem to fit in really good with the Guardians. And the whole creating Stormbreaker was really good. And Groot making the handle, that was awesome. Peter Dinklage, the internet was so sure he's one of the voices of Thanos' children, but he wasn't. It was pretty cool what they did with him on his character. And then there's Cap's team. Probably my biggest disappointment of the movie is the fact that Captain America really doesn't have very many lines, very much screen time, nothing. Little light on the Cap in this movie, and he's my favorite MCU hero. And then, of course, there's Thanos, who is pretty much the main character of this movie. And he is one of the best MCU villains. He was absolutely amazing. His whole storyline, why he is the way he is, and then his search and his and Gamora's relationship. I was really afraid they wouldn't touch on it very much, and they really made that a centerpiece of his backstory and how much his heart was broken with everything that went down with those two. And I was really afraid Nebula wasn't going to get a time to shine. She is a daughter of Thanos, and they really did some crazy stuff with her. So that was great to see too. And going on to the end, I really thought when Thor did what he did, put Stormbreaker through his chest, I thought, oh my God, they actually stopped him. I didn't think they were going to stop him. That whole killing off half the universe, I thought that was going to happen before seeing the movie. And when Thor puts the axe through his chest, I thought, holy crap, they are not going to kill off, or they weren't going to let him do his thing. And then, of course, what happens. And Bucky, I believe, was the first one where he comes out and says Captain, and he just disintegrates. Man, that was cool. It was very cool to see that. And everybody else, and for them to kill off who they did, Panther and Wanda and all those Guardians and stuff. And then, really Nebula and Rocket are the only ones left, I think. Because I thought Peter died too. But that whole scene with Iron Man with Peter was pretty amazing. I thought that was great between Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. It was very touching. My other complaint besides Cap not getting a whole lot of attention is the fake out with Tony. They should have just killed him off. I thought that was so ballsy when not gassed. I just thought, oh my God, they're actually doing it. They're actually killing Iron Man, and no, they spare him. But of course, they're all going to come back. All your main characters, all the people that are going to carry on the MCU after Avengers 4 died. The ones that are probably going to maybe be retired or maybe slow down a little bit lived. Cap lived, which made me happy, and Iron Man lived, and War Machine and all that other stuff. But they obviously got a Panther sequel coming on the way, and Spider-Man is obviously happening, and Doctor Strange is obviously happening. But they that's pretty crazy. But yeah, I can't wait to see Avengers 4. Thankfully, we only have a year to go. We have Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp. My guess is an Ant-Man and the Wasp, at the end of that movie, is where half the universe dies off. And one of those two, either Ant-Man or the Wasp, is just going to disintegrate right at the end of that movie. That's my guess. Um, I think this is another theory I have. I think Hawkeye is a Skrull. I think him and his wife and children are all Skrulls. And I think the reason why Hawkeye wasn't in the movie is he's a Skrull, and they know Thanos is coming to Earth, and him and the rest of the Skrulls evacuated, and they're eventually going to turn out to be Skrulls. So that's my theory on that deal. But quite a bit to absorb. I went to the first showing tonight. I am going to go to another showing, the 3D showing, tomorrow at 12:30 in the afternoon, and try to absorb it again some more. That after credit scene sure was cool too, the reference to Captain Marvel. So I'm hoping she's going to be in Avengers 4 too. Too bad Maria Hill and Nick got killed off, but it is what it is. So, but anyways, what did you guys think? Were you shocked? What do you guys think of everything? Loki's death and Heimdall's death. Apparently all the Asgardians are dead now. But like I said, they're going to, Avengers 4 is going to have somebody else as a villain, and eventually they're going to find their way to the Gauntlet and bring everybody back. I mean, they kind of have to, so... But anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie as much as I did. I'm so excited for Avengers 4. Got a year to go. But anyways, we'll see you guys around. We got more videos on the way. I kind of been stalled lately. Hey, I got a link to my Facebook account too that I just started. If you guys are on Facebook and not on Instagram, I wanted to diversify a little bit for all those of you who are not on Instagram but are just on Facebook to see my pictures. I just finished loading all the rest of them, or I just have a few left to forget to load up on there. But yeah, check that out. I'll post a link in the comments. And anyways, thank you guys for viewing. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys around.